Thank you for your interest in Manifold TCG. For the next couple minutes, I'll show you how to use the kit we sent you to play your first game. Manifold is a space fantasy themed combat game using cards and custom dice. You have a team of heroes and a deck of support cards which you will use to defeat your opponent's heroes. Players will go back and forth taking one action at a time. Let me reiterate, a turn is just one action. A round is each player taking every action that they would like to. Then both players move to a new round together, drawing more cards and replenishing their resources. You will use your characters and structures to roll dice, and this is the major mechanic of the game. They are how you deal damage, block attacks, and disrupt your opponent. Making more dice than your opponent is how you will outmuscle them. In the box you received, you'll find everything you need to play except a friend. Inside, you'll find a rule sheet, 3 complete Manifold decks, Sentinel tokens, rule reminder cards, we'll go over those later, double-sided basic locales, and these are cool. Again, they're double-sided, so we're going to have one player playing red, we're going to have one player playing yellow and green, so these blue ones we're going to split up between red and yellow. You will also find shield tokens, which prevent 1 instance of damage, dice counters, which cause your cards to roll additional dice, and damage markers, which is how we'll see how close our heroes are to death. And of course, the custom dice. There are 7 colors of dice, and you've got 8 or more of each, which is about 2/3 of what appears in the launch box. You won't use every die in every game, but we made sure there's enough to cover nearly every situation you're going to run into. Now here's one of those reminder cards I was talking about, how to start the game. Each player reveals the cards in their heroic pool and puts them into play. Each player has up to 45 points worth of heroes. You see here these cost 21, 15, and 9. Your heroes also typically have a starting locale indicator, and they all have a health total. When a hero takes damage equal to its health total, it is removed from the game and defeated. And this creates the game's primary win condition. You want to defeat your opponent's hero before they defeat yours. So we'll start the game with our heroes in play. We will randomly determine who is going first, then we will draw our opening hand of 5 cards. The reminder card lays out a mulligan rule, but let's ignore that for our first game. Then, we'll make starting locales as determined by our heroes. Starlet creates 2 emerald mines, Eldri creates 1 topaz mine, and Bolo creates nothing, but that's why he only costs 9 points. So the next step is to proceed to the logistics phase, except you're going to skip drawing your cards. So normally, in the logistics phase, you do a bunch of cleanup from the previous round, but we're not doing any of that, and we're not drawing cards. So what we're going to do is harvest a basic locale. We've got a bunch of yellow cards in our hand, so we are going to select a topaz mine. And this is our resources to start the game. So now we proceed to the first main phase, where players alternate taking 1 action at a time. There are 6 actions listed here, and they're described in greater detail on this card, but most of the gameplay features the first 3, so I want to describe how to play a card, activate an object, and how to resolve dice. To play a card, you will pay the card's cost, which is in the top left, and then put into play if it's an object or do what it says, and then discard it if it's an event. So if we wanted to play Enthusiastic Harmonist, we'd pay 2, a yellow and 1 other, and then we'd put her into play. And now she, alongside our heroes, are objects that we can activate. When you activate an object, you exhaust it to show it's used, then you roll its dice, and then you create any triggers. So, if we wanted to activate a character, let's say Enthusiastic Harmonist, we would exhaust her, and then we would roll black black because of the drop down. And she doesn't have any trigger, so then you're done. But what if we wanted to activate Eldri? Eldri has a rather complicated trigger. This is when activated, you may play an event with this paying topaz towards it. So if we wanted to activate him, it would start the same. We would exhaust him, we would roll black black, and then be able to play an event. So our hand has 2 events in it. If we wanted to play sleight of hand, it only costs a topaz, so Eldri's trigger pays for it. But if we wanted to play Engulfing Stone, Eldri will only pay for the generic cost, so we still have to pay an emerald and 1 of any other color. Now the third of the typical actions is resolve dice. When you resolve dice, you pick any symbol from among those below and you resolve 1 or more dice you control showing that symbol. So this is how you deal damage, shield, modify, draw. Let's say we activated our objects, we activate Bolo, roll red, we activate Starlet, roll red, blue, and let's say we actually had to play Engulfing Stone on our Starlet and put a blue counter on her, so we roll another blue. Then now we could take the resolve physical damage and we could resolve 5 damage. As a later action, we could take resolve draw and we could draw a card. And then later again, we could resolve shield and shield 1. You can also tactical reroll. You can discard a card from your hand to reroll up to 3 of your dice. Hey look, I found some mental damage. So now, again as a later action, I can resolve mental and I can deal 2 more damage to my opponent's hero. And other than pass, the last action is dig in. Now that I've activated all my objects, played all my cards, resolved all my dice, the last thing for me to do is say I'm done. So I shield 1. I get to take no additional actions for the rest of the round. My opponent will take as many actions as they want, and then we both go to the logistics phase, where we ready all our objects, draw 2 cards, and create another locale. And then we're right back in the main phase, taking alternating actions with our opponent. And gameplay continues this way until one player has all of their heroes defeated. And that's how you play Manifold. Feel free to jump right in, or go to the Mountbaker Games YouTube page to look for some other resources to help get you ready. Thanks for watching.